Hi, good evening everyone. I'm your host on the Facebook Live today, Couple Dave, and a familiar face you must be knowing a lot, but I'm not doing much of the shows over a period of time because of my television expertise and enterprise I got into. But today I felt sincerely that there's a need of the hour to do a Facebook Live or the streaming live in wake of the elections that are happening in the state of Telangana and the wake of election happening in the states of Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. And with me today, enlightening you about the importance of voting rights and how a voter can build a nation is a senior advocate and International Human Rights Association of India's working chairman, Dr. and Advocate Dr.GOPIKRISHNA. Welcome, sir, on the show. Had this thing about lawyers that they are like intellectual people, and they write, they frame the laws, they do a lot of constructive writing about how you function as a society. And now we start with the first thing about this international human rights.
Yes.
Just enlighten about what you do in that.
Sir, actually, International Human Rights Association is an NGO which primarily focuses on the importance of the responsibilities of the citizen as well the rights what he or she is framed up. And we take care of the promotional activities, the development activities, and of course we do educate. We volunteer the organization on behalf of the nation to see that wherever a citizen is deprived of his right and role, these issues are addressed by us in such a way that we take care of the citizen to undergo, to educate, and to see that he claims his right in the rightful manner.
We're talking about the rights.
Yes.
As a human,
yes,
human being and stuff.
Yes.
Does vote becomes a human right?
Definitely, sir. Definitely, it is his right.
How does it make him a right?
Because citizen is a status of the country, and definitely a citizen is expected to elect his own governments.
Okay.
In democracy, it is expected to, and then the citizen is the one who frames his own governance by way of an vote. So he should be educated, intellectual, and of course he should know the consequences of his governance.
They know how.
Yes.
Now, in wake of the votes, I mean, you have seen a transcending change in how the democracy of India has changed post the parliamentary democracy came to exist from 1950 whatever time. And during this course of time, the parliamentary structures and legislative structures have taken a lot of leaps and bounds of change. And there have been good people came into the power, there have been equally bad amount of people.
No,
also.
I don't say bad amount of people. It's only their understanding.
So you always say
Yes.
good people coming.
Good people coming
into power.
Yes.
But again, you say that vote is a power that a common man has.
Yes.
But why doesn't common man understand that he's got a power within him and he has to go to this particular electoral booth on that particular day of the voting, which decides the fate of the state or the nation?
Sir, I mean, to what we ourselves have claimed, and we wanted our country to be democratic, and then we have made ourselves to go with the procedure of electing our own government. And obviously, I mean, a human being here or the resident of the nation is expected or is to be educated or is to be known that his governance is in his hands, and definitely there is an embarked period of time wherein elections are the deciding factors. And then definitely yes, the citizen is expected to observe the changes what he is able to experience by virtue of the governance what he has elected or she has elected.
But in 125 crore population, 1.25
Yes.
million people, how many of you, the common man or the average citizens, knows about that this the vote is a power to them and they exercise this kind
Yes,
of
sir.
power.
At least there are
Do you
percentages.
think the information is there with the common man?
No, sir.
An average voter?
No,
Is
I do accept with the I do accept with your questionnaire. But the thing is, at least the intellectual forums, the intellectuals, the people who are casting their votes, they must be in a position to see that when they are able to form or frame the governments, it is their duty during the period of the governance that, of course, let us talk about the other issues later, but let at least the citizens of the country be educated.
so you
properly.
pertinently say that intellectuals of the society, could be professors, could be doctors, could be lawyers,
Yes.
could be practicing executives, whoever they are,
Yes.
who are in the working class,
Yes.
or the executive class, or little educated class who done it, should make other people aware about transcendent information about
Definitely,
it.
sir. Definitely.
So you think that as a common intellectual,
Yes.
a well-educated
Yes.
person,
Yes.
you should give this information to the common
Obviously, sir,
man.
because this is all what we are experiencing with our knowledge and education. Of course, with our experience, and then the provisions what we are enjoying today is that the same thing which is expected even by a common man. A common man, in fact, who doesn't know even that the right of vote is his tool. But for his future,
I understand there is a huge gap about the commonality and the intellectuality and the rich and the poor in our age. But do you think there are forces which play against people to not give this information right to them?
who acts as the bridge between the system and then
The beneficiary.
the beneficiary.
Okay.
That's it, sir.
There is a big mafia with
Yes. No, it is. I don't call it as mafia, sir.
I
It is
think
only.
it's a
It is only the uneducated. What I can say, it is not a proper constructive bridge between the governments and the common man.
How do you think that bridge can be made?
Education, sir. Education. Yes.
So education is the key point for
Yes, sir.
people to get.
Education is the key.
And talking about education, I mean, we have seen that our country's education levels have grown up, and we find 65 to 70% people educated in our country. Maybe in some states like Kerala or Karnataka, you're seeing 99% of the
Yes.
words as such. Where you see a stark change in how the states function, how people behave, and you see Tamil Nadu as one great example of economic development. But again, they're all politically driven. It's not driven by a vote, a power of a vote, a power of a common man, a power of intellectuality. Where do you think there is this gap of other democracies which are run by people? It could be European Union, it could be about socialism in Europe, or it could be about the federal governments in America, which the voter feels the right of power. Here, the voter is neglected a lot, and he's been given some freebies here and there, and he starts voting for his person of a choice. When will that change come?
So we need to, firstly the citizen has to understand, when the person who goes for the voting has to understand that voting is his primary right,
Okay.
that he is selecting and electing his own governance. And this change has to start from the initiations. We can't expect a voter, we are also, we are influenced by the few old systems still. And we feel that the parties which are today are the only parties which are taking care about the governance of the country. And there are no new other governances where they can invite or they can't be invited. See, if that change comes radically in the mindsets of every individual, and the participation of every intellectual into politics is also.
So talking about intellectual participation in politics.
Yes, sir.
If an educated guy says, well, and says at his home,
Yes.
look, I want to contest at the party election, the common thing in Telugu say, money can do
Yes, yes.
Okay. क्यों करना है सब चीज़ के लिए? System से बाहर नहीं अच्छे है जो मिला. Such kind of attitude, when do you think will have
So
to
if you
change?
think-
Is it the parents who are responsible?
No,
Is it
sir.
our peers who are responsible?
No,
Or
sir.
is it the generation now that has to take a leap and bound step to be in the system?
the generation, sir, because see, we are all getting qualified, we are getting educated, and as you told that, why should I? That should change, sir. Basically, see, it is not that
why should I?
That should change. See, it is our duty that when we are struggling in life, we are settling in life. What do you call settlement is all about? Settlement is not to earn for this day and settle down in life with why my parents or your parents did. No, it is not something like that. It can go something beyond, because you see, your education must also teach you that what else you can do with your education and what exactly is your participation towards society. And definitely, if that participation is understood by the individuals at the individual level, we can definitely expect change, and that should of course come from the qualified personalities.
The family. The family. I remember some time back when I first wanted to vote, and I could be over 18 or 19, I didn't go and vote actually, to be honest, to be cancelled. And I got an earful from my dad that day, saying that you're missing the power that you have. And somehow that pinched me, and I started reading a lot about this information about Constitution. It was a young age, I didn't know much about what Constitution was and what I was aware of. And believe me, from the next time, I have voted about 4 or 5 times now, and I've very sincerely gone and voted to the person of my choice. That is something which my father gave to me. Do you think families is responsible for pushing the students or the working professionals or the peers themselves to go? At least go vote. Don't waste.
Don't waste your.
Just vote. It could be anybody. Just go and vote. Would that bring some change?
Definitely, sir. Definitely, sir. Because see, as today you expect that younger generations are able to spend a lot of time about the social media. The information what they share with each other, the experiences what they share with each other, the college level, school level, etc. And in the same way, they should also have that consciousness that, of course, governance is it is for them, and vote is their right. It's a birthright. And definitely, and I also come across a number of situations in our organization. Few people asking for their rights which are deprived, before we understand what is our right. So execute your responsibility, then ask for your right. That would be much more comfortable.
You see a majority of 35 to 40% youth now.
Yes.
And India is going to be the youngest nation right now, which has got that 18 to 35 to 40 people bracket of 55%. How key a factor are these people in driving the next generation politics?
Absolutely, sir. It is very simple to say that youth are our future. They are our future, and the governments or the policies, the policy framers today, whatever they are intending, the development it is all about the future generation, that is none other than youth.
Okay.
So we expect youth's participation and their responsibility towards the voting. It is very important.
So, youth, I mean, there's an old saying that native so youth today become the champions of tomorrow's cause as such. And India is a young nation. Do you think that this young nation of these young people around, as an advocate must be observing so many people around and come up with a lot of people, how different is our country going to be in the next 10, 20 years?
Definitely, sir. You can expect a lot of changes because we can see ourselves. See, when I was a student, last 20 years back, my performance, my understandings are entirely different to that of the generation what we are seeing nowadays. Yes. And their perception levels, their observation towards the subject, their participation, and their intelligence, involvement, everything have changed a lot.
Artificial intelligence, or technologies, or these
they're playing very major role.
Social media channels have got a lot of desired information into their head.
Yes.
And do you see a positivity?
100%.
Okay. So, do we expect that the young generation youth, who are going to be part of the voters population now, which is going to be that 25 to 30% voter population right now, to bring that little bit of change that the system will...
So we may not expect it immediately, but definitely we do get it, sir. We will get it.
So, one final information to the youth and the nation today about the vote. What do you want to say something?
Sir, vote is our right, it is for us and it is to govern our own future. So kindly cast your vote.
It could be anybody.
It could be anybody.
Just vote.
Just
or you could just contest yourself.
No.
So with this one, International Human Rights Association working chairman, Dr.G, we have had to have a voting rights discussion and nation building. We say goodbye and we'll come back with next time with a wonderful topic again. Thank you.
Thank you.